come on. Oh my God, it's working. Can everybody see me now? It's working. Is it working? Well, yes, it's working. My God, the monitor's working. It's all working. We've got it. Welcome to the show. Woohoo! Whip, 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 woo! Oh my God, right. Monitor is working. Credits. I can see the people. I can see everybody. Oh my Lord. Here we go. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings. Blessings. Oh my God. I don't know what goes on there, but it will get better because we got more equipment coming. Monitor is working. It's not blinking off. It's done it. I'm just bearing with the moment. I'm just got my fingers crossed, got my legs crossed, got everything crossed that monitor is going to still keep working. So far, so good. Right, God. It's a good life when everything works, isn't it? Now, today, I thought I'd talk about what is a good life. Let's just turn that microphone down a tad because I think it's peaking a little bit because I'm so excited. It's all working. Right, hi everyone. Persian Princess, I left a message, but I don't think you saw it. My DNA. I've got people where you live in Iran. I got DNA connections in Egypt and Israel and Saudi. Look at me, pure white Englishman. But my family all originated out of the Middle East. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I just find it so strange to understand that I've got people. See, this is the thing. Let's just get on with this for the moment. That we can't hate people because they live in a different country, because we've travelled across the map. We've travelled across the globe. We have family all over the place. Brothers and sisters, family, aunts, no, not aunts and uncles, but my DNA is Middle Eastern. Look at me. You can't get no more vanilla, can you? I'm not going to say white anymore. This is more like vanilla. A beige. I'm a beige colour. Like a lion. Beige. Reddy, pinky, tingy. Pig colour. Beige. Right, okay. Now, today I woke up with this feeling and I put it out as, what is a good life? And I looked at that and I sort of thought, have I had a good life? At what point in my life was it good? That's before we get to the point of, did you have a great life? Did you have a loving life? Did you have a creative life? Time goes very fast. How much time do we have left? Nobody knows. But is it a good life? So I'll put it over to you. Are you having a good life? Is there such a thing as a good life? Is life actually good? Or is the whole thing just crap? And we're trying to make us believe that we're having a good life. But what is a good life? Can anybody explain to me? Because I got a big question mark looming over my head. At what point did I feel like life was really good? And I think I boiled it down to about 3 years in Cyprus, where I truly believed it was great life. And you know what determined what was a great life? I felt freedom. I felt free to be me. That was my example of saying I had a good life. But when I look at life in an evil world that it is it a good life? And so therefore, isn't it a shame that if you take a picture of the universe and you fathom out where you live amongst the stars, right out there in space, swirling around, there you are, living on this planet, in this incredible planet, but is it a good life? So I looked at it and I thought, is Donald Trump having a good life? Don't forget, he's been shot at. Is Andrew Tate having a good life? I can't name anyone at the moment, is the king having a good life? Don't know. What do we call a good life? The king could say he's having a good life because it's better than ours maybe, but then again, is it? He can't go down to the local supermarket, can he? He can't go and grab a coffee in town, can he? He can't be seen wandering down the streets. No, because he's trapped in the establishment. So is that a good life? Can anyone explain? What is a good life? Do you have to become a Christian to be a good life? Do you even have to have any form of spirituality to have a good life? Does it just mean being nice is a good life? What is a good life when we look at the world and see that there doesn't seem to be much that determines what is a good life or what is a great life? Let's go to Palestine. Are they having a good life? No. Is Israel having a good life? No. So who is having a good life? Is Bill Gates having a good life? Is a pop star having a good life? They seem to kill themselves off, don't they, at some point? Are film stars having a good life? I don't know. All I know is this. The difference between my human self and my beamy self, I can represent my beamy self as having a better life than I did as the human life, because in my human life it was unconscious. In my beamy life, I'm a lot more aware. I wished I was a lot more aware in the beginning though, because I believe that the whole story would be completely different. So let's welcome everybody on board. Oh, here we go. Look, it's working. Big shout out to Byron, by the way. Thank you very much for the donation. That's absolutely fantastic. It would all be put to great use. As we can see, everything is now working. So IEE, welcome to the show. I didn't expect it, but thank you very much for turning up. Lots of love goes out to you. Hi Dino. Hi Persian Princess. Okay, so we've got the originals coming in. We'll just do a short one tonight. We've got Laura11. Welcome to the show. I think that's the first time I've ever seen you on here. Philip Preston, welcome to the show. Okay, so what do we think? I feel connected to Europe a lot as well. Yeah, if you do your DNA, you'll probably find out you're connected to a lot of people. And I always say this, when people come through to me and we have a Skype meeting, I truly do believe they are connected in my soul family, because 8 billion people on the planet, then you're connecting with me and I didn't know you before, but in the connection of speaking to me, now I know you out of 8 billion people. So how many people out of the 8 billion people do we know? It's not a lot, is it? So is it a good life or isn't it a good life? So we have Daisy Q. Hi Daisy, I believe you're new to the system as well. I can't believe this is all working. I'm so happy, people. It's going to get better. We've got more stuff coming. It's going to get better. It's all going to get better. Right, Daisy Q. And we have Tiffany Millibis. Hello from California. Hello to California as well. So you're 8 hours behind me. I was thinking about this with California. I did live out in California. I lived out in LA for a little while. I lived out in San Diego for a while. Shame about LA. Don't know what's going on there. There's a lot of rubbish going on around that. But such a shame that people have lost their homes. It seems like everyone's losing their homes somewhere along the line. So are they having a good life? No, I don't suppose they are. So hi Tiffany, I believe that you're new to the show. So anybody got any questions? Is anybody having a good life? Is anybody having a great life? So that's what I wanted to bring out into the world. So Philip Preston says, it's all personal perception. One man's meat is another's poison. It is definitely that. I've drunk a lot of poison in my day, but the idea behind body, mind, energy healing is to get that poison out of oneself. And that poison for me was the entire human falseness of that I was led to believe I'm a human being, and that completely wasted my life. Even though I did some great things, it is personal. I did many great personal things in my life. I've achieved things that I didn't think was possible. So now when I say to my soul, what's next? I allow my soul to say, okay, let's try this, or let's do this. And here's the important thing. When, I don't know if any of you keep a journal, or you do inspirational writing, or you're very creative beings, or you're trying to understand what healing is, you have to turn up. Now, when I turn up to do a show, I just put a title, I just put a few words down, and I don't know what I'm going to speak about, but I just allow myself to flow. But when we don't allow ourselves to flow, that's when we stagnate. Trevor Isley, on the other end, he might be scratching his head going, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. And, oh, I've got to learn this. And, oh, I've got to put this together. And my higher self says, shut the fuck up and just get on with it. Just open your gob and let the words flow out. If you look at poets, songwriters, book writers, authors, they always turn around and say, it came from somewhere else. It came in and through me. That is Be Me. So Trevor Isley didn't know about Be Me, even though I was a Be Me, but he hadn't put a philosophy together called Be Me. But that came when things started to go wrong. And I used to say to myself, all I want to be is me. But then the question came, but who is me? So Be Me is me. So therefore, the healing that comes into play meant I needed to get rid of the pains of the human being. So this is why I say to people, don't try and cure one thing. You've got to cure the whole thing. So for me, the whole of the human programming is the best thing to get rid of. You cure it for good. And then in your own body, mind, energy, your own body, mind experience, you start to treat yourself with a bit of respect. And you allow the energy, the life force, the God self to shine through. Now, the reasons why I believe that the world is so rubbish and it's so fraught with fear and destruction and devastation, it's evil. So for me, I never, ever, ever looked at the life as being evil. But the more I look at it, I can't believe it. So the more you awaken, the more you start to see the bullshit. Then you have to look at your own Be Me self and realize or understand what bullshit are you carrying around within you. If you've relied on your mum and dad to tell you the truth, I'd think again. So for me, it was all about I needed to find the true self, feel the true self, and then be the true self. And what does that equate to? It's a feeling. So to determine, is it a good life, surely can only come from a feeling, can't it? Let's find out. Okay, Virgin 1, hi there. Dino Sally's the fuck king. The Fook King. Fook King. I feel connected to Europe as well. Right, I've done that, Philip Preston. It's all personal. Everything is personal. Find out what your personal beamie is to you and find out what the greatness of your beamie is. That's when you connect to within your soul. Do you know this right here is the good life? Thank you very much for your support there, Dino. This right here is the good life. Ellie Wynn, welcome to the show. Hi, Trevor. Interesting topic. Thank you for this live. You're so welcome. Hi, Pilalago. Lago. Hi there. Double E says the world is a beautiful place, and it is. It's just that psychopaths are running it. They are. Definitely psychopaths beyond. I think they all need lie detector tests. 100%. I'm listening to the politicians here. They definitely lead. I think it should be law that every politician needs a psychiatric evaluation, and I do believe they need to take a lie detective test to see whether or not they're telling the truth. That would be so interesting, wouldn't it? I may even get one of them myself, as it seems, just to see whether or not I'm truly being me. But I believe I'm truly being me. Thanks for being here, everyone, from Double E. Persian Princess, agreed. Right, Julia Van Runkillick. Hi, Trevor. Caught you live, love from Switzerland. Hi to Switzerland. So we've got people all around the world, and this is what I love doing the lives now, and I can't believe the monitor's working. I'm so happy. You have no idea. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I think the colouring looks better. I think everything looks better. Had a bad hair day, on goes the hat. When I'm wearing the hat, it's a bad hair day. I can't be bothered to do the hair. Hi, Ruth Jones. Welcome to the show again. So, any questions about having a good life, what it means to have a good life? I'm also going to put a shout out to someone. I don't know if it was you, Dino. Did you turn around and say, do I do a distant healing? Somebody on here asked me if I did do distant healing. I said no, but then I thought about it. So who was it? Because the only way to do distant healing is to know the person. It's no good doing distant healing if you don't know where that distant healing is going to and what is the problem. All I know is, in my amazing adventure of trying to discover what does healing actually mean, I discovered that it is possible. And the reason why it's possible, but you have to be connected somewhere, somehow, because I believe everything's a light. I believe everything travels along the light. I believe everything on this planet is like the tree. You know, there's the trunk and everything comes off from the trunk. I think our brain is like the universe. Everyone's proved that anyway, so that's nothing new. But I think once we run along a certain spark of light or a timeline of light, I think you can send light. Now, light for me is information. So a light being is somebody that has information about the light, that shares the light, that becomes the light. A dark soul is somebody that may know about the light, but they won't share the light. They keep it for themselves. That's the difference, I believe, between a dark soul and a light soul. So maybe that works for everyone. So Dino Salas, smile a bit more, Trev, and the top half of your head might fall backwards behind you. Smile a bit more, Trev. And I used to smile a lot. I used to laugh a lot. I was such a funny fucker. But this became serious. But truly, I was so funny. People used to say to me, you should be on Big Brother. You'd claim it. You was hilarious. I was so funny. I used to make everybody laugh, no matter where I went. I used to love it. But when it came into this depression, anxiety, losing oneself, the dark night of the soul, I was dealing with so many people that were going through such a bad time. There was nothing funny about it. So I always used to be the joker at school. And I'll give you a story. It was when, you know, when you used to get sent out of class for being a mischief or making a noise or disrupting the class. That's me. That's always been me. But it wasn't just me that I got sent out of the class. I got all the boys sent out of the class. And I remember a teacher coming up and said, why are you lot standing outside the class? Why are you not in the class? And everyone just pointed to me and said, it's because of him, sir. He just keeps making everybody laugh. So we've all been kicked out outside the door. I used to love it. I used to be a great impersonator. I used to be funny as they come. But in that dark night of the soul, I must say, I did lose that personality. So then I looked at it and I thought to myself, okay, am I here to be a joker? Am I here to make everybody laugh? And I looked at it and I thought, no, not really. My life's not a joke. And I'm not here to make everybody laugh. But I do love a laugh. But what I noticed was this. When I did become serious, I lost a lot of people. I lost a lot of friends. You know why? Because I wasn't making them laugh anymore. And do you know what they said to me? Trev's got the arsehole. Damn right I've got the bloody arsehole. You know, but when I lost my smile, and by the way, smile says this, see miracles in little events. Smile. Body, mind, energy. See miracles in little events. And if we're all supposed to be connected, it is see me in life everywhere. Smile. So to have an inner smile, I believe was the greatest of smiles. So inside of me is an inner smile. But if you truly knew me, you would really know Trev. And Trev really is a bit cranky sometimes. He can be really funny. He can do some really funny things. He's still in there, but I don't really do it on the show because I like to be a little bit serious. Anyway, let's get back onto the show. Ellie Wynn, welcome to the show. Presence plus connection to the energetic field. Yes, there is an energetic field. Our entire body is running off an energetic field. So, how do we change our mind? How do we recompute our brain? Is by telling it, just like your computer. Just like all this problem I've been having with all this equipment. I didn't know how to work it. But now it's all working because I had to look at it, get new equipment, put it all together. Hey presto, oh my God, now it's working. Now I feel happy. So the synapses in my brain is sending an energy into my body, and I can be so happy over something so ridiculously stupid because something works. So when it comes down to healing, when we start to listen to our body, we think something in there just isn't working. Why isn't it working? And so we use our energetic mind and we use our atoms. We use the cells, we use the chemicals in our blood to push towards whatever it is that we feel that is injured. And we talk to it with a bit of respect, with a bit of kindness and a dash of careness. Careness, is that the right word? A bit of care. And then all of a sudden, we start to communicate with our body in a completely different way. And hence, that's how we begin to start healing ourselves. Now, We live in a world where a lot of people are bringing to the forefront about healing. They are being shut down, whether or not they found a miracle cure in something that they found in the forest, or a bottle of something, or an oil of something. Have you not noticed that these people were getting shut down? Which then got me questioning about where did my channel go, because I had a big audience in USA. I had a big audience in Australia, and I don't even think Australia is really hearing me anymore. So I started to notice that things were slipping away. And I used to think to myself, well, who am I? Why is this happening? I do what I can, but look at the nature of what I'm doing. So I put out to the universe, and I said to the universe, this doesn't add up. This doesn't make sense, that the more I want to help people, the more I want to share the gift of healing, the less it seems to be affecting. So I thought to myself, that doesn't seem right. So people, if you have the healing ability, and I'm asking this question really because I'm a little bit stuck myself. If I wasn't doing this on YouTube, what would you do with it? Where would you take your gift? How would you put it out there? In what way? How would you do that? Let me know, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I need to get a carrier pigeon for messages, and I need a pen and a pencil to deliver the message. So I thought maybe it is about going back to the roots and almost coming away from this electronic world that we're living into. And don't forget that they are pushing us to this transhuman shit that is going on, and anyone that gets involved with that, it's over. The future is over. They sell it in a sexy way. Oh, don't worry, if your legs are not working, we can make them work. If your limbs are not working, we can make them work. They always sell it because of a disability or an injury. But does it really? So let's see then, in a few years' time, because of AI, are we turning around and saying there shouldn't be such a thing as a disabled being? Right? Is that to be correct? So, but if they're saying that we should all connect our brains to the internet, well, how do you get a job? How do you get a job when everyone's got an intellectual brain? Who do they choose when all they've got to do is scan their brain, Google, to get an answer, to get themselves a job? So if everyone becomes the same, how do we decipher who's different? It can't be done. We are the end of a new era. We are the breed that is here to make the change. Because other than this, there is going to be no such thing as a pure human being. It's not going to exist. And you know what else they're going to say and do? In the next 5 years, it's talk at the moment, but when they talk about it, it's going to happen. Every child born is going to be chipped. That's not good, is it? Right, Ollie Ann, welcome to the show. I caught you in at last, so you must have finished work early, did you? Or did you skip off work? Oh, you're not working. What's going on there? But it's very nice to see you. Ellie Wynn, smile, see miracles in little events. Let me give you a little story about see miracles in little events. My mate's mum died, and he was gutted. Obviously, everyone's gutted when their parents die. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But he didn't know how he was going to handle it. So we went to the funeral, and I noticed that he was really doing well. He was smiling, he was talking to the people. It was just like as if nothing had happened. And I was impressed. And I said to him, I said, you've impressed me. I said, because I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. And he said to me, Trev, smile, see miracles in little events. And I went, Robert, you are so correct. And that's what he did. He saw the miracle in that little event, which was probably the worst time of his life, which is the funeral of his mother, because he loved his mum. And that was it. See miracles in little events. And he was a prime example of me being a teacher, him being a student, but then him being the teacher and making me feel like the student, because he was using the smile. And it truly worked for him, and it really got him through. Right, stock apocalypse. Right, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Let's go back here a little bit. Holly Ann, I, Trevor, Daisy Q. Trevor, I want to connect more to my beamy, but how do I truly do this? Well, you already are. But it's the human beamy. So what you've got to understand is this. If you look at your human life, it's filled with a lot of words. It's filled with a lot of excuses. It's filled with a lot of dramas and situations and pains and loss and love and fears. But it's scattered all over the place, isn't it? So when you look at your beamy self, how do you think about your beamy self? So you have to say to yourself, okay, what do I think about my body? What do I think about my mind? What do I think about my experiences or my emotions? Just 3 things. Just 3 things. So to connect into your body, mind and energy, once you do that, the 3, the body, the mind and your energy becomes the one beamy. So you have to work on what is the human story, but what is the beamy self? The human story has hurt you, and it is stored in your body as experiences. So therefore you have a lot of fears that you have captured from your human story. Now, if you go into your body and see where the discomfort is, that's where your experience is. Every experience is stored in your body, and your body, including your muscle tissue, remembers. So that when somebody says something that is hurtful, it affects the whole body, right? Then, once the body is in pain, the mind then attacks you because you are in pain, and then what happens to your energy? Well, your energy goes down the drain. So words can kill you and words can heal you, but you are being your beamy being, but your human beamy self, because your body, mind and energy is scattered. It's all over the place. Your mind is in the past. It can be in the present, but it's also in the future. Your emotions, where are they? Go back. They're still in the past. So your past is within your present. And in your present is your emotional value that you have of yourself, which is then going to become your future self. So you are your beamy, but you're just not being true to your beamy. It's a big process. Stay tuned to the channel. There's lots of YouTubes that you can watch where I explain my journey of what I went through to try and understand, but what is the real beamy? Hence, beamy. Great question. Right. Yes, it's a practice. Beamyism is just like Buddhism, right? But Buddhism is great if you live in Tibet. Beamyism is great when you just live in this little body, and it's your body, and it's your religion, real religion, and it's a practice to believe in oneself. That is beamyism. I love that stuff. Right, okay, Holly Ann, I'm not sure I will ever see before I die. Worried. What is that? Okay, where have you come in on that? I'm so pleased. Honestly, I'm going to keep on all day long. This monitor's working. I can't believe it. Mano Smith, hello from Amsterdam. Love Amsterdam. I went to Amsterdam. I had a great time. I had a great life in Amsterdam for a couple of days. It was out of this world compared to England. I loved it. It was amazing. I went there with a girlfriend of mine who was very much in love, which always makes a big difference, doesn't it? When you're in love with somebody and you go somewhere with somebody, it becomes doubly special. So I love Amsterdam. And I think a lot of my family also come from over that way as well. Right, Elam Win, wow. Hi Trevor, hi Ellie. I want to know, right, connect more, Holly Ann. I'm not sure if I ever will really see before I die. Worried. Holly, you are still living in old energy. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, I can't believe how well you've bloody done. I'm telling you how well you've done, but you have to believe it and change that energy. You are using old energy. Let's put it this way. From where you are now, Holly, look to where you was, to where you are. Are you better now, or was you better back then? I know the answer, and you know the answer. Gauge your story and your journey from where you have come from and what you went through to where you are now, and then ask yourself, are you still carrying old energy because you've gotten so used to being a warrior that you're still worrying? But look how far you've come. Has it changed? Yes, it's changed. So if we can stop the worrying, because it's only you that is worrying, then doesn't everything just change? So every time you catch yourself worrying, stop it. That's not your be me self. That's your old self that's still a little bit scared that things may change. You may not find your way. You may lose your insecurity. But look how many times you've done that through your life. But are you better now than you ever was? Let me know. My purpose. Oh yeah, my purpose. Your purpose here is to breathe life, and it is to be you. That is the meaning of life, is to be you and witness this incredible kingdom. It is the beauty of this kingdom. You see the beauty of that kingdom when you understand the beauty of who you are. The relationship is your relationship to life. We have been led to believe that life is rubbish. It is no good and it is pointless. But don't worry, when you die, you're going to go to a greater place. Let's leave that for the moment. We have been taught that there is a greater place. No, this is the greater place. Your body, mind and energy is the greater place. It really is. Right, okay. Right. Ellie, Win, Sigh, paper and pencil, lovely. You can achieve so much with a pencil and paper. I love pencil and paper. That's how you do all your channeling. Holly Ann, have you looked at your astral charts? Oh, that's coming from Double E. It can give you pointers. Maybe Double E can help you with that, Holly. She's an incredible astrologer, even though she does not tell the world that that's what it's all about. Right, Dino, Salis, being who you man, is bad enough. Transhumanism would be transhumanism, beamism, transhumanism, humanism. Okay, got to find your ism, people. Holly Ann, oh, just off to work. Oh, okay. Watcham Rhoda, glad to see you doing these live streams, Trevor. We did some Skype sessions in the years past. James from the US. Hi, James. How are you doing? Let me know. Right, Rustica Safarovic. Hi, Trevor. Hello to you, to your and your team. Yeah, it is a team. So from Slovenia. I love that word, Slovenia. Very romantic, it seems. Oleanne, can't shake this pointlessness. Just sad, always thinking that I don't want to be here. One day I won't. I don't even know why I'm in this chat. I never change. Ollie, you're meant to be in this chat, and we love you being in this chat. You're just being honest. That's all. It's okay. You're safe here. No one's going to attack you. No one's going to have a go at you. And don't apologise to me. There is no need for apology at all. Do not apologise to me or anyone. But apologise to yourself. You're meant to be here. I'd love to see a little bit more. I know there's an 8-hour difference between you, me and you. Oh, you're in Miami, aren't you? So it might be different. Oleanne, I just don't want to be here. I don't make any progress. Yes, you do, and you're meant to be here. When your time's up, and then that's it. It's an old thought that you're giving yourself, and you're changing your energy. You are meant to be here. Dino Salis, Daisy Q, your beam is closer to you than the space between your breaths. Yes, it is. Your beamy self is breathing my energy. That's the fourth chakra point. Breathing my energy, breathing my essence. The breath is in your God. Your beamy is in yourself. Your beamy is in your body, mind, and your energy. Ellie Wynn, Yakes, Tar Trevor, old energy worried, old worries, warrior, old energy. Oh my God, if you just had a ha-ha moment, that's a ha-ha moment, isn't it? Let's give it up for Ellie Wynn. Win, it's in your name. Win. My nan's name was Win, Winifred, but we called her Winnie. Win. You got it in your name to win. Warrior, 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 warrior. All warriors worry. God, this is a mouthful, isn't it? You can be a warrior beaming, or a warrior beaming. I've done both. Trust me, I've done both. Right, Double E, got your back, Oleanne. Yes, she has. Well done. Dino Sales, tax preparer, accountant. All right. Ruth Jones, hi T, Ruth Jones. Right, okay. OG Woot, the voice. The voice is a voice, but it's what comes out of the voice. I believe it's like this. When I was going through the spiritual transformation and everything got taken away, it took me some time to sort of fathom out what did I have left. And what I had left was the voice. So if everything disappears, I still got a voice. And I still got a microphone for that voice. And when you've heard me on the microphone, if you've not noticed the way that I speak here, because it's live, I'm just keeping it interactive. But when I pull up to the microphone, I tried to stop myself speaking like that in the way that I speak, because it sounds like I've played with all these dials on the microphone to make it sound a certain way. I haven't, and I don't. However it comes out of my voice, it just comes out. And when I listen to it, I think, oh my God, that is so different. But years ago, I didn't like my voice. And the reason why I didn't like my voice is because of the shit that was coming out of it. But when the messenger came through and my higher self came through, it came in the voice. Your voice is the energy that carries the words of energy. Your voice is the frequency. And when I was doing a live TV show, I went deaf. So I've got a monitor thing going off, a connection to the modulators. So they're speaking to me, letting me know we're coming up to a break. So I've got him talking to me in my ear. And this ear, all of a sudden, it just went deaf. So I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't hear what was going on. But what I did notice was this. And you can try this. It's a simple exercise. When I went deaf, I could hear the vibration of my voice, and it was running through my body. So when deaf people turn around and say, is it deaf people or blind people? Either one. Probably blind and deaf people. What they do is they feel vibration through their body. When I went deaf, that's exactly what I was feeling. I felt this vibration. I want you to do a test. So you imagine this, right? Next time you're screaming, just try it. Close your ears. Make sure no one's in the room, or unless there are people you want to scream at. But scream at whoever that you want. Shut off your ears and feel the rumble that runs through your body, it's awful. It's destructive. And I noticed that even in a voice of anger, it's got a frequency that runs through your body that is going to disrupt your immune system. Basically, it's going to kill you. So through going deaf, through being deaf, it taught me to feel the vibration of my own voice from my throat that was like a channel that was running through my system. Try it. Scream at yourself, shout at yourself, call yourself all these stupid names. Feel how it rattles through your body. Now, do the opposite. Close your ears and then talk to yourself with a little bit of respect. Talk to yourself with some love. Feel the... Oh, don't do that, Trevor. I'll go into one. Feel how the vibration and the frequency affects your body. Now, when somebody else screams and shouts at you, you know how that affects your body, don't you? It rattles through your system. So that's why you will find that not so-called, spiritual people, let's say, they've all got a calmer voice. They all speak a little bit slower. I mean, if Eckhart Tolle talks any slower, he'll just fall off the chair. I don't know anyone that talks slower than Eckhart Tolle, to be honest with you. But Neil Donald Walsh, listen to his story. He probably screamed a lot. That's how he got his story from. He screamed at the ceiling for an answer. And then their inner voice. And that's why they say that the silence of the inner voice can only be heard when the trappy voice, the noisy voice, the angry voice, the human voice shuts the fuck up. When that shuts the fuck up, then that's when you start to hear the inner voice. And that is how beamism came to light, because once I got rid of the human voice, which was very loud, I come from the east end of Essex, the only way is Essex. We're very loud, everyone's loud. But when I got rid of that, that's when I discovered the true voice. So the voice of God, the voice of your true self, the voice of your soulful self is in the silence, but you need to stop the voice of the human. That's healing. Right. Thank you, Trevor, for live videos and chat. Big help. Yeah, I hope so. Life, Death and Taxes, yes. Watch the film Meet Joe Black. I love that movie. When Joe Black comes towards me, I'm going to embrace him. I'm going to kiss him. When are we ready? Let's go. I love that. That's my favourite all-time movie, that is. Meet Joe Black. It's brilliant. It stars Brad Pitt. Very old film. Right, let's go through these. I can't believe this monitor is brilliant. Ellie Wynn, yeah, that was a light bulb moment. Yes, it's a light bulb moment. There it is. Light bulb. Always question yourself to get a light bulb moment. All beamism, all beamy, all healing came from a light bulb moment. And if you've got a question, you're waiting for your body to respond. Your body is a barometer, and it will raise its energy if you've asked the right question. But if you don't ask the right question, the body doesn't change. Your body is a lie detector. Your body is a truth detector. We have to we have to understand our body. Now, if somebody lies to you, how does it make your body feel? You feel it, don't you? If somebody says something to you that hurts you, you feel it in the body, don't you? If you talk to yourself with not so kind words, you feel it in the body, don't you? So the body reminds me of, you know, when you go to the fairground and you've got that thing, you've got a mallet and you hit that thing and it goes up and it hits the bell. To me, that was like the chakra system within my body. When I hit that and I hit it correctly, a bell went off. That's like a light bulb moment. And when you get a light bulb moment, remember that you've had a light bulb moment and write that light bulb moment down, because when that energy raises up and it changes your energy and you sense that feeling, that's the feeling. That's the feeling we should all be feeling. Yes, it will drop as the whatever that thing that is that goes up. Yes, it will drop down and you'll hit it again. Maybe the bell won't ring again. But the idea is behind trying to keep hitting that bell. So we're working on frequency. We're working on vibration. So you're up, you're down. You're up, you're down. What you have to learn is when you're up, just come halfway. Don't go down. Just come halfway. When you're down, just come up halfway. A lot of people mistake that when their body is down, we try to go back up. But when you're down, you can't even swing that hammer. It's too heavy. It's like a little thud. It's pathetic. You can't do it. Just learn to... No, I can't grab it. I would have showed you a way of doing it. The Beamy process is you've got to meet things middle way. Why do you think Buddha talked about the middle pathway? So it's knowing how high and it's knowing how low. And then you find the middle pathway. You find your balance between your lowness and your highness. And when you go down low, sit with it. Let it simmer. Don't try to raise your energy back up. It's got to do it by itself. It doesn't matter how many times you want to turn it. There's something there that you need to listen to. There's something there that you need to understand. And I love them moments. I love the moments when it goes down and I have that little question mark and I think, okay, I'll listen and I'll feel it. And I'll start to write down sort of questions. I'm like this because... That's the human question. That's Trevor asking the question. I let it simmer. I let it sit. And I allow my intuitive self because it's... And then I allow my intuitiveness, intuition, inner teacher, to write what's next. If Trevor writes what's next, there's no energy exchange. When it comes in from the higher self, you get that, that's interesting. Oh my God, I just dislodged something. That is the power and the gift of body, mind, energy healing. Right, Ellie Wynn. I am large, I contain multitudes. Whitman. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. Ruth Jones, Trevor. You near read my above message, above their hope. Trevor, you near read. Right, okay, let's go back. Who's that? Ruth Jones. Let me go. Have I missed something? Right, you'll have to come back again. Experimental. I'll try to get through as much as possible. Light bulb moment. Trevor, you near read my above message. Above their hope for everyone. Okay, rewrite that. Julia Van Run, I just call you Julia. Julia, I felt for a long time I landed on the wrong planet. Much better now, but what a learning and remembering process. It's more in the remembering. I said the same thing. I thought I was on the same planet, on the wrong planet. But there is no other planet for us at this moment. Now, the difference between that, I hear a lot of people, and I said it myself, I didn't feel like I belong. Especially in the dark night of the soul, I really truly didn't feel I belong. In the human self of me, I kind of felt I belonged, but I was unconscious. In the dark night of the soul, I didn't want to be here. I didn't belong. I tell you the answer, I tell you my answer, and you have to work out it's your answer as well. Because I know I came from somewhere else. That's the remembering. When you realise that you came from somewhere else, call it the cosmos, call it the universe, call it the dust. I like to think we're stardust beings, right? We're Captain James Turk. I could have said turd though, couldn't I, somewhere along the line? Captain James Turd. But for me, I believe we've all been taught you come out your mother's womb, right? You live a life, you die, and hopefully you get in the kingdom of heaven, right? That's the story. We've all been led that programming. When you do your healing and you go back and you go back and you're undoing, you will come to this place that you say it's dark, there's nothing there. Yeah, you know why there's nothing there? Because you've actually undone everything. And in that darkness, that's where the universe was created. The universe was created in darkness. You was created in darkness. But we have been led to fear the darkness. But as you've heard me say, I learnt from the darkness, because in the darkness there's nothing there. And I was scared that there was nothing there. But then I got used to the space in the darkness and I thought, thank God there's nothing there, because the darkness is my space. And then I started to love that space, and that was the emptiness of the mind. You know, if you ask the Buddhist, how do you empty your mind? Is there anything there? He'd probably say, no, there's nothing there. You're just in the space. So in that darkness is the great point, right? But everyone believes it's a bad point. I did as well. But then I slipped beyond that dark space, beyond the womb, and then I realized where I came from. And then that's where I could see things in a completely different way. Then I realized that that's where all beamism came from. That's when I could turn around and say, well, I know all about the Akashic records. I know kind of all about my family. You can kind of almost say, well, you know God. You can even say you know Jesus, because you came from that energy in the first place. And then you came here, dropped into this realm, which is of a lower vibration. And then you went along, unbeknowing, and then you went into the dark night of the soul. You found life was disappointing, and you dropped down again. And then you thought, my God, I really don't belong here. And I'll say, no, you don't. But where you do belong is in your energy. And your higher self is still residing on a quantum field in that spirit energy, and that's the spirit energy that you connect into. That's your source of information. Yes, I believe what I've said is right, even though it sounds a little bit confusing, but I believe that to be so. Ruth Jones, I read it. Might not be able to say some of the words though. Yeah, do you know what? It's right, okay, that's double E. I am large, I contain multitudes, Wait, Whitman. Right, Ollie Jones, the Virgin. Thank you, double E, for explaining. Ellie Wynn, Trevor, haha, Loud Essex. I'm from Loud Philly. You're a Philly person, are you, Ellie? Okay, are they loud up there as well? When we're loud, it's because we've always... I come from a sort of, you know, 4 brothers and that, and a lot of arguing, so we was always loud, and we always want to be heard and listened to, but your mum never listened to us anyway, so when we was too loud, we just got a wallop. Ellie Wynn, okay, write about the light bulb moment. Old energy will be the first entry. Yes, write it down, put it in your book, and remember that you had a light bulb moment. Otherwise, if not, you will forget that you had that light bulb moment. But that is the soul. That's the energy. That's the soul that says, yes, you've got it. You've got it. It's brilliant. Ellie Wynn, precious. Let the low feelings simmer. Sit with it. Energy will change naturally. Yes. In other words, don't fight it. In the dark night of the soul, for me, I was fighting it because I'm a warrior. And I kept fighting, and kept fighting. And in the end, I was so exhausted, I just crumbled. I couldn't fight anymore. And that's when my soul said, should we begin? Are you going to listen now? And I was fighting it by, I didn't want to be a messenger. I didn't want to be a healer. I didn't want anything to do with spirituality. I didn't want nothing to do with the chakras. I didn't want nothing to do with spirit. I definitely didn't want nothing to do with ghosts. I wanted nothing to do with mediumship. I wanted nothing from any of it. So I tried to run away from it. So that's why I went to Spain, and that's why I went to France, and that's why I went to Cyprus, and then I went to America. And every time I get kept getting slung back to the UK. And I thought, why? Why do I keep coming back to the UK? And it just didn't make sense, because I didn't want to be in the UK, because I knew UK was making me depressed anyway. That's the difference as well, talking about depression. Are you depressed, or is it your environment that's depressing? That's a big question, isn't it? Because an easy way to discover that is when you go on holiday for 2 weeks, you're not depressed. What happens when you come back? Yeah, depression. Yeah, because where you're residing is depressive. So are you depressed, or is the energy of the area making you depressed? Think about that for a little bit. It's a big, big question. Are you depressed? And on a soul level, once you get into your higher self, oh hell, the soul the soul can be really fucked off, because it is so depressed when it awakens and looks at life and says, what on earth has gone on here? This is Armageddon. So for me, the light and the dark that's happening on this planet at this moment is truly Armageddon. It is the war between light and dark, and who's winning. So Armageddon is not in the world of spirit. Armageddon is here, and it's right now, and it's happening. It's full on, and it's big, and we're part of it. So to hold on to your own insanity, that is beamism, whilst the rest are just killing each other. It's a killing field. The earth, Mother Earth, beautiful Mother Earth, be me. Beautiful Mother Earth. She's dripping in blood. We grow our vegetables in that dripping blood. So Earth is a killing field of dead bodies, because nobody leaves here. It's awful. No wonder she's crying. No wonder they don't want the divine feminine back up into this world, because, you know what I'm saying. I get so angry with it. Right, okay. Ellie Wynn, sense of belonging is deep. Yes, belong to oneself. Persian Princess, do you believe we choose our lives before birth? Do I believe we choose? Do I believe we choose? Let me just think. Let me just go. I'm checking my archives now, because it's been a long time of what I believe. I'm believing in myself. I do believe we came here to make a difference. And I do believe that I came here with beamism, but I forgot. If you check out your energy, there is a feeling of forgetfulness. There is something that you've missed. There is something that doesn't feel right. It's the feeling of, oh my God, where's my iPhone? Oh my God, where's the house keys? Where's the car keys? You know that feeling? That. So, when I went back into spirit, because I went back into spirit, yes, I believe in the soul of souls. And I believe in the transformation of the souls of souls. And I'm an accumulation of the souls of souls that have come here to be the head of my souls of souls. So what I put right here helps my lineage, because my lineage are working through me so that I come here and finish the job that they didn't finish. And I believe that's what we're all here to do. So I believe, just my belief, listen, I've never read books. I don't read books, and thank God I didn't, because I'm not tainted by somebody else's belief or religion. I'm only tainted by my experience of what I believe to be true for me. So what I speak is only purely by experience. So yes, I believe I chose to come here to create something better in a world that is corrupt and broken, because that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it took me a long time to understand, why would I even want to do that? Why would I even want to talk about beamism? Why do I want to tell the world that we can heal? Why would I want to do that? Because that was the mission and purpose that I came here with. And so therefore, I chose my parents because my parents were still connected to a bloodline. I know it's a tough one. Let me tell you this. I have that rare blood, and I'm not going to mention what that is in case I get picked up by aliens. God forbid. Actually, I wouldn't mind that. So, I have that rare blood, right? Now, they say it comes from one of the parents, right? When you get this rare blood. So, one of your parents have obviously got that. But what's the chances of my mum and my dad having the same blood? That rare blood, right? So that means somewhere along the line, in my grandparents, they had that rare blood. Right, now, here's what's the chances that you came here and everything's kind of almost planned out. The soul has planned it out. It's just human has no idea. What is the chances that I would marry somebody at 19 years old and find a girl who lives half a mile down the road and find out, I've only just found this out, by the way, I only found this out about 9 months ago, right? This is new to me. What's the chances that I married a girl with the same blood type, with that rare blood type, whose parents also have that rare blood type? So what is the chances out of all the women that I could have married that had that specific bloodline? All right. Now, when I go back into the DNA of my ancestral family that came out of Egypt, ancient Egypt, apparently somewhere along the line, I won't get too much in depth with this, that blood type originated from ancient Egyptian. So therefore, my blood type carries the seed of information. And now I'm connected into the DNA. That then uploads my information that I came with. And my ancestors are here to help push me along. It's like where I live now. I didn't know why I was here. But then I found out that for the last 600 years, my family lived here, right? I've seen statues of them with their names on. I've seen churches with their names on. I've seen roads with their names on. I've seen a county with their names on. And I used to think, wow, I didn't even know why I was here. So was it pre-planned? I believe so. Because no matter how many times I've tried to do something in my life, it gets to a certain point and all of a sudden it switches onto this other plan. And I think, I don't want to be on this plan. Why am I on this plan? What's going on? And that's because of the soul. The soul is a sign or symbol of universal lineage, S-O-U-L, a symbol of universal lineage that is connected. And so therefore, my soul has been making sure I become the preacher of beamism because I come from a lineage of preachers. Funny enough, I got a lovely big poster I did, and I look like a preacher because I'm wearing all black, and I called it The Preacher. And I thought to myself, you know, why do I have the preacher energy? I have the preacher energy because installed into my DNA is the preacher energy, and so therefore that's why I preach. I don't preach it in a way like preachers do, but obviously I'm preaching it at some point. So yes, I do believe that 100%. It's just connected into it. Persian princess, what's the point of forgetting and then remember again? It wasn't the point of forgetting. It couldn't be helped. Yeah, be la vie, Dino. It wasn't the point that you came in and something made you forget. The programming made sure you forgot. Because the people that have been running this planet for X amount of centuries, right, they made sure you forgot. So it's nothing to do with God that made sure that you forgot. It's the programming that made you forget. Why do you think this is called the awakening? What are you awakening? It's so that you can remember what you came here to do. That's the awakening. The awakening is finding out your potential of who you are. So the point of you forgetting and then remembering. So you got to say to yourself, princess, what did you forget? Well, I'll tell you one thing you forgot, and that's to love oneself. But if you come from Iran, and I'm only surmising, you come from a very controlled religious belief system, right? So even your religious belief system has gotten you to forget. So just look at that for the moment. I don't know how steeped you are in the religion or how much of it is, but I can only assume that it's completely consumed you. And that's what religion has done. It's consumed us into a belief that's been installed by us by parents, parents and parents and parents and parents. But the awakening is where we turn around and say, do you know what? I just want to be me. I don't want to be all of this. I just want to be me. And that's the breakthrough. So it's not our fault that we've been forgotten or forgot. The God is within you. It's in your breath. It's in every cell of your body. It doesn't matter about scriptures. It doesn't matter about books and all of these things. It's about believing in yourself and your potential. But once you remember that you're here to be the witness and to love oneself and love life, there's only two things that we need to understand. Is love self, love life. To me, that is the kingdom of heaven within, and you'll look at the kingdom of God before you. That is love self, love life. So if you can discover that, you will discover your being me. So you forgot, but it's not your fault. CK, Hollyann, I relate to you a lot. Mind makes you believe sometimes that you're worthless, that you're human programming. This can lead you to that overwhelming feeling that it sounds like you're having. Yeah, that's exactly that. It's an old programming that's running through the mind. We've all got it. It took me ages to stop. Listen, it took me ages to stop being a hairdresser because I've been doing hairdressing since the age of 11 years old. So it was always there. But when my soul said, no, that's going to stop. And I was like, you can fuck off. That's never going to happen, you know. But my soul gave me no other option. It made sure that it was going to stop. It made sure that I was put on a different pathway. And I kept fighting it and fighting it. It was the same thing. Is it my will or is it the soul's will? Well, I kind of didn't believe in the soul, really. I had no idea about the soul. But I had to surrender to the fact that it's like, oh my God, this soul stuff really is real. It's Harry Potter. But the more I started to believe that it was real, then it started to show up in my story. Then I could see the adventure of life is soulful-led and not human-led. The human don't want you knowing how great you are and that you own you own your soul. You are your soul. You are divine. The divinity is within you. And divinity is not this religious thing. Divinity is the birthright of who you are. And that's in the greatness of who you are. Your intelligence is through the bloody roof. I'm not saying that I know all of the intelligence, but I have a lot more intelligence than I used to. I thought I was an idiot. I thought I was a dimwit. I was dumb. I don't even know how to add up. I don't know how to spell. I don't know where full stops and commas go. I've no idea. I really don't. But my intelligence through what I know on a different level, for me, is through the roof. And getting in connection with my own intelligence, it's just incredible. Never ever once in our lives did anyone teach us how to get in connection with our own intelligence. And that is intelligent consciousness. It permeates our system. But if the human being programming gets in there, it's a virus. The human programming is a virus. Right. Person Princess, got to learn stuff on the way to knowing. You do. CK, escape that programming through letting go painful processes. Yes, you can let go of that stuff when you truly understand that the soul still came here to understand that stuff. It came here to learn what did life have to offer. When it gets to a point that it has nothing left to offer, then that's when the soul starts to awaken you and says, okay, but listen, I've had enough of this shit. We're going to just drop that off now and we're moving off this way, because the soul knows it's heading its way back home. The human being is just so scared, so fearful of even dying, whereas the soul, it really doesn't mind. It doesn't care about this human self, but it has to have the experience first. Once it knows the experience, it becomes injured. Then the soul goes through this process of becoming wounded. Then it looks at them wounds. It translates them wounds into information and knowledge. Once it understands that knowledge, it starts to understand the life of the human, and then starts to awaken that says, something here is wrong. I'm going to awaken, because enough is enough. And that's why so many of you can turn around and say, enough is enough. I've had enough of this shit. And that is what you've had enough of. It's the human programming and the way people have treated you and the way that we have treated ourselves. Enough is enough. And we have to teach ourselves that enough is enough. CK, to experience God's kingdom. For me, just for me, it doesn't matter for anyone else. Just for me, this body became the kingdom. That's it. This is my kingdom. My own thoughts are my kingdom. My body, my mind, my energy is my kingdom. But it's how do I treat that kingdom? How have we treated that kingdom? That is the difference. And I think if you go back to ancient scriptures, I think it's all been screwed up. I think it's all been led a lie. I don't think any of that was the truth. And I think it's been taken away from us so that you and us and me become idiots and slaves to a system that we believe have our answers. No, they don't. They just keep you in the slavery of being controlled. You just do as you're told and shut the fuck up. Well, we're not having it anymore. And it's as simple as that. I don't want to be a human being. I'm not connected to the human being. I'm being me, and I'm being true to myself in what I believe. That's the truth of me. Then you find the truth of what you believe is true to you. My truth may not work for you. Your truth may not work for me. But what they're saying is, they want their truth to make truth for everyone, and it's not the truth. You are the truth. Who said it? You are the truth, the way and the light. Right? That person discovered the truth of the way and the light. That he found his way, his truth, his light. And what happened to him? We killed him. What's happening to a lot of people out there that are spreading the truth? They're not here. They've been killed. They're dead. They're gone. They've been shut down. They've been dehumanized. We are in bad times. Very bad times. Chloe, is that Chloe? Chloe, does that mean gutsy, Trev? GTSC, does that mean gutsy? We've got to be gutsy. Persian Princess, what's the point of it all? You are the point of it all. You're going to go back into spirit. And you're going to tell a story, and you're going to warn other souls of what shithole life has become, and you're going to warn them. And your information, you're going to spread to the next soul, to the next spirit that's going to come here and endure this. Why do you think children are more intelligent than us? Why do you think they're being stopped by teaching them shit that they're learning at school? Because we don't want intelligence on the planet, and we definitely don't want intelligence with money. They'll be shut down as well. You come here to be a slave. You come here to be connected to the internet, to the cloud. There ain't going to be a God. There won't be a scripture. There won't be a religion. You won't even know you are. You won't even think for yourself. You will be a droid. Your family's future will be droids. Empty. Void of anything. I apologise for my children. I said, don't take this the wrong way, kids, but if I had the choice whether to have you or not, I wouldn't have had you. Not that I don't like you, not that I do not love you, but if it was love, then I wouldn't have brought you onto this planet to endure this shit. That was not love, and I completely apologise for bringing you onto this planet. And he said, Dad, I understand. I look at my own kids and say to myself, was that love? Because now I'm watching them go through the shit that they're having to endure. So they say, I totally get it, Dad. I totally understand. It's not a bad thing, but I just wished I didn't bring you on this planet to endure such shit that we'd have to put ourselves through. And I watch them go through the stress and the troubles and the illnesses they put upon themselves and the boyfriends and all of these stuff. And I think, oh my God, you're just passing it on, passing it on, passing it on and passing it on. And we're here to break that shit. But it's, what do we do? What do we do? What is love? What is love? It is bringing a new life onto this planet that's so evil. Is that love? I don't know anymore. I don't know. Gutsy, good to see you. Oh right, I looked at that and saw it as gutsy. Gutsy be me. Right, Chloe. That's exactly why I don't have kids. Okay. Great. But here's the thing, how many people out there, like women, that decided they wasn't going to have kids, and that's it, they just didn't want to have kids. But how many people have asked you, go, why haven't you got kids? It's a big thing. Well, why haven't you got kids? You should have had kids by now. It's like, well, the other question is why have you got kids? And why do you treat them like that? Why do you think this is something you said that you was going to love, but all you keep doing is shouting at them and putting them through pain and poverty and struggle? I think if anyone needs to have a kid now, you better have at least 5 million in your bank account to be able to survive their upbringing, because other than that, it's slave labour all the way. So I'm not being horrible there. I'm just stating the facts, and I've mentioned it to my children, and they totally agree. Love is a 4-letter word, sometimes a 3-letter word. Love, for me, means living one vibrational energy. Living one vibrational energy. Love. Think about it. Living one vibrational energy. We live in a shitstorm. Ellie-Win, we do live in a shitstorm, and it's good. Rust car. Okay, so good for you. Only 24. Keep it good. Jen, where is 2 + 2 = 4 or 2 + 2 = 5? Supposed to balance in the physical and the spiritual world. What is right or not? Only you can decide for yourself what you believe to be true. Only you can try and understand. I know they're trying to go from 2 + 2 = 5. You know, there's things here that are just not adding up. None of it's adding up. But that's the confusion. See, they confuse us through separation. The world is full of separation, and that's why we've got more titles. We don't even know what genders we are anymore. So what we do is, not what we do is, what they do is. Don't forget, listen, it's between us, the slaves, and them, the people that's in power, that's imposing this on the slaves. That's the war. Nothing to do with gods. Nothing to do with scriptures. It's nothing to do with spirituality. We're living in a world where them fuckers are making our life fucking miserable. And that's the fucking truth. Excuse the language. But we all come, where I come from, they're the first words we truly learn. First words out my kid's mouth. Oh, baby said fuck. I didn't have any. She said fuck. Oh dear. First words out of my kid's mouth was bollocks. Right. Teresa Lopez. Hi Teresa. Hi Trevor. So awesome. Right place, right time. Catching another one of your live streams. Appreciate you. Thank you for turning up, Teresa. Only going to do another sort of quarter of an hour or so, but I'm glad people are here. I took a chance on it tonight. And I don't give much notice. I don't know if it's good to give a little bit of notice or it's just go on and bang on. I don't know whether to do them during the day. But I got new equipment and everything's working and I'm so happy. I'm really happy. Trevor, so awesome. Right, players okay. Ellie Wynn. Me, no children. My knock parents were my kids. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, who came from narcissistic parents? Yeah. My mum used to throw knives at us if we walked into the kitchen. And we used to open the door and see the knife going twang in the back of the door. The back of our kitchen door looked like a dartboard. True that. All the boys remember it, but funny enough, my mum never did. I think she belonged in a circus with a knife throwing at because she was bleating good. I've tried throwing knives. I can't get them to stick. But she was an expert. But I dread to think if one did connect. I wonder what she would have thought about it then. Yeah, my mum would throw something at you, whatever was in her hands. Frying pan, pot, knife, carving knife. You better run. When my mum had PMT, you better leave the building. She was a good fighter as well. That's why us boys became boxers and karate experts and kung fu experts. We had to block my mum's punches because she was very, very good. And my nan was like that as well. She was good with the fists. I come from a very fighting family, but I didn't expect my mum to be like that. But she had a tough life. I understand. Right, where are we? Persian princess, I live in a religious dictatorship. I awoke from this delusion, but it didn't lead me to enlightenment. It led me to even more depression and frustration. Yeah, do you know what? I totally get, stop. Don't ever go at yourself there. There's, you got to be careful. Listen, let me go over that again. I live in a religious dictatorship. Yes. I awoke from this delusion, yes, but it didn't lead me to enlightenment. Yes, yes it did. Because when you awaken from something, but you're still connected to that something, it can seem to hurt you more when you're conscious than when you was unconscious. You got to come out of that. It's like if life is about reducing the fear and coming away from the fear, and you want to start loving yourself, so therefore the fear is left the building and you're contained with the naturalness of love, right? But then when you find yourself in that state, I know that the more awake I became, the more I saw more fear that I didn't see in the first place. And so therefore, the more I was sensing the fear, the more I seemed to get infected. And I used to say to myself, my God, I've not got anywhere. I feel more fearful now than I did in my unconscious world. And then I stopped. And then I realised the trick of the darkness. And it's to see the fear, but don't install the fear. You have found enlightenment, but you're still looking at the fear and you're angry that you're having to live in that condition. If you can drop that anger and within your own silence of secretness, and then within your own self, you can adhere to certain patterns and rules, but you're not imprisoned in your internal world. Does that make sense? You have discovered enlightenment and you have escaped it, but you've got to walk it and believe it, even though that stuff's going on, which is very, very hard. I don't see equality there going on. I can't get caught in that because it will bring up a religious thing. But every religion I look at, I've got to say, I stick up for the women here because I'm not seeing any religion that's actually for women. I don't. So, amen is men. The world is run by men. I don't know I don't get it. Because without women, we wouldn't even bloody be here. So what the fuck is going on? You know, honestly, you'll get me in a battle with that one, but you have discovered enlightenment. Now you just got to believe it and not be suckered in with that, but you're just feeling some anger there. Just release that Just let that go. You can see it, what's going on, but don't absorb it. Don't absorb it, because you spent time getting it out. Getting it out. So you're out of prison as it is. Right, Prince of Persia, I don't see any point in knowing who you are, or at least feeling it, but not being able to live it. What should I do with this awakening now? Well, only you can answer that, really and honestly. What do you do with it? The point is knowing that you was in prison. The point is knowing that you've led a life of lies. The point is knowing that you've been trapped. The point is knowing that you're in a prison. The point is knowing that you have no control. The point is knowing that your emotions have injured you and caught you and destroyed you and made you not believe in yourself. That's the point. To escape it is the point. When I escaped the prison, I did the same. Listen, how did I do this? Let me just backtrack here. How did I do this when I escaped? When I escaped, I couldn't change anything on the outside. I couldn't. I had no trinkets. I had nothing. I had nothing. But I couldn't change anything. I couldn't change where I lived. I couldn't change my parents. I couldn't change anything. But what I changed was the way I felt about it. And that to me was freedom. And I didn't leave the front room. I didn't leave the front room. And that's why my soul made sure I lived in a fucking shed for 7 years. With rats. With no kitchen. With no fucking toilets. In the freezing cold. In a shed. Where there's a roof. But it was as thin as a shed. No central heating, no heating, no insulation. For 7 years. And I thought, why? Let me just think why now. It's because I had to understand what it was meant to have a life of nothing, but then realising the very one thing that I did have left. And that was me. And that was the difference. And that's why God or energy or your soul or your journey or your meaning or your purpose gets you on your own. It's so that you can get to understand who you are on your own without no interference. And when I escaped that freedom, that prison, and I'll tell you a story. A man is in prison. And he's been told he's in prison because he has life. He's got life, right? One day, a guard turns up, opens the key, opens the door, and he says to the prisoner, "You're free to go." And the prisoner thinks, this is a trick. I'm going to walk out that door and they're going to shoot me, or they're going to put me in here, they're going to take me back to court. And the judge is going to say, escaping prison, we're going to give you another 50 years. So he sits on his bed. The door's wide open. The prison guard comes back. And he says, "What are you doing? I've told you that you are free. Pack up your things. Let's go." And he thinks to himself, this is a trick. This has got to be a trick. I don't believe it. It's just no way. So the guard says to him, "Come on. Pack up your things, let's go. You're free to go." And he thinks, right, so he packs up his belongings, walks out the prison gates, these cell gates. The guard walks him up to the main gate, opens up the door and says, "You're free to go." So he walks out still thinking he's going to get shot or he's going to get imprisoned or the police are going to come and find him. Now here's the thing. He's got so used to being in prison and he was told that he had life. But when he got told he had freedom, he didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know where to go. He didn't know how to think. He didn't know what to do. He just saw this empty, vast space, and he said, but I don't know what to do with that freedom. Now he has two choices. Offend, again, go and rob a bank, and just find himself back in prison. Why? Because that's where he felt comfortable. That's where he felt secure. That's where he felt looked after. Or he discovers freedom. That's what happened to me. When I came out of that world of being a human being, I went into this empty space that went, well, what the fuck do I do with freedom? So we can fight for freedom and we can gain freedom, but I ask everyone this simple question. If you discovered freedom, what would you do with it? Because at that particular time, I didn't know what to do with it. Because when I discovered freedom, there was no one there. I was the only one there. So I started to run back to the prison because it felt safe. Let's do what I used to do because it's what I know. And then I got booted out again, as if to say, what are you doing back in prison? I booted you out. Get out. Go. You're free. Go. Free to do what? And then that's when it became free to be me. And so therefore, I tried getting back into the forest, into the jail, and I kept getting kicked out. So now, when I speak about beamism, I am out in the clearing, and I speak about beamism. So anyone that's in the forest that says, what's going on over there? And you come towards me, I'm helping you to release you from the freedom and the confinements of your own emotions, from the confinement of your energy of being a human being. And you listen to words of wisdom of somebody that knows what it's like to be in the prison. And I bring you into the clearing. And then you may be here on this channel, then you may go back, and then you may come out. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to free yourself. But when you free yourself, it's a weird feeling. And do you know why it's a weird feeling? Because you don't trust it. And you don't believe in it. And it almost feels like an emptiness. It's weird. It truly, freedom is a weird feeling. Healing is a weird feeling. When you heal yourself from emotions, it's a very weird feeling. Right, okay. Mary Jane, welcome Mary Jane, happy for you. Norman Armstrong, that sounds familiar. Holy shit, Trevor, knives. Okay, Lucas, hi Lucas. During the dark night of soul, should one trust God to lead him through it, or do you actively have to twist through your already confused mind to try and find the breakthroughs? Well, trust in your soul. Forget the word God for the moment. The soul is closer to home, right? But what's going on there? Oh God, this is the long story, right? This is the rest of the channel. There's loads of answers on there, Lucas. Right. Your soul put you in there in the first place. And the soul has put you to make you realise how much of a pain you are in and how much pain you have collected, and the soul has had enough, right? But you have to then realise that your story has also put you into this pain through your programming. So now you're full of pain, right? So did God do that to you? Did the soul do that to you? Did people do that to you? Well, for me, I realised that I was screaming for God, but God wasn't out there, right? But what was closer was the soul, was the energy, was me. So I had to heal me, to understand me, understand my pains, my mind, my energy, my body, my emotions. So it's a process that your soul is getting you to understand the pain that you are in. And my channel talks a lot about that. Again, this is a big subject, so I'll have to just leave it there. But it's a kind of a God, but it all depends what you believe God is. But I love the word of soul. I went with soul because to me, that's me. I can understand it. That I feel that is it. That's me. That's the core. And the real meaning behind the dark night of the soul is the last initiation that says, I'm going to fucking get this right. And I'm not coming out of this dark night of the soul until I've got it right. I give you the simple answer. It's to love oneself. Because the rest of it, you've been in fear. And it's been imposed upon you to be in fear and in pain. So you are in pain. The dark night of the soul. The soul is saying to you, come and find me. And as you empty the process, and as you start to heal yourself, and as you talk to your soul, and as you talk to your intelligence, you become a partnership. The two become the one, and then you become the one. That's to be me. Ruska, dear Trevor, thank you for open Pandora's box for all of us. Oh, God, it is a Pandora's box, I kid you not. That box is very deep. Teresa Lopez. Hi, Teresa Lopez. Can you discuss spiritual psychosis and how one could get out of it before it manifests in the lives? That's a long subject as well. Whatever belief is out there for spirituality, you've got to believe it again. Again, it's all self-belief. It'll always come down to self-belief. Other people have got other beliefs. You can go learn Buddhism, you can go learn Christianity, you can go and learn Islamic, you can go learn. But the answer behind the psychosis of it is that you've forgotten your own spirit, your own knowledge, your own wisdom, your own soul, your own DNA, your own Akashic records, your own library, your entire working force of who you are is a library. That's a psychosis where we've forgotten. So you don't have to always look at that word as being spiritual. When you bring it into the be me, that's that middle way. It's beautiful because it's about being me. It's not about being spiritual. I can say oh God, am I spiritual? I do spiritual things like psychic, medium, clairvoyant, tarot, readings, miracles, healing and all these things. I can turn around and say that's spiritual. But is it? I can say religions and scriptures and all of that is spiritual. But is it? Or is it being you? Is the power and the gift within 3 letters? Is that you? Being you is the power that nobody wants you to know. Simple enough. That is your spiritual. Spirit you all. We are spirit. I believe in the spirit world. I know I'm going to turn into spirit. But the problem was, I don't want to die to find out my spirit. I want to live my spirit here now as if I'm dead already. That to me was spiritual. I'm being the spirit now as if I'm already dead, which means I really don't give a fuck about anyone else says that now. I don't care what they say about religion. I don't care about anything else. I believe in my own spirit. And my own spirit I need to be true to. And I suggest everyone starts doing it. Because you may have come here with something amazingly great. I got rid of the human and discovered this. You could get rid of the human being and find out your greatness is something different. Something completely different. So that to me is the spiritual. But the power is in the be me. Right, nothing, nobody. Hello you. Mr. Isley, were my first person I found to listen to when waking up. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you. Nothing, nobody. Nothing, nobody. But you're still a somebody. You're still a be me. You're a be me, nothing, nobody. But yeah, how many times do we go through that? I'm a no thing and a nobody. That would represent to me the spiritual. A no thing. I'm not a thing. And I'm a nobody. Because this body is just something that I've manifested by reducing its light to a matter that grinds all the atoms, that slows all the atoms down to mould who we are. And then for me, when the death process happens, that speeds up and it just disintegrates and we're released from the prison. For me, that makes sense. Love it. Don't give a fuck. No, don't. Don't. I don't give a fuck. I think my teacher once said that to me. Mr. Isaac, you really don't give a fuck, do you? I went, no, I don't. You can stuff your education up your arse. I don't give a fuck. Well, you never do well in your A-levels. I went, I don't give a fuck. The best meditation you can say is called fuck off. Honestly, it's a way of saying fuck off. It's a nice way of saying fuck off. It's an evil way of saying fuck off. But it's a great word. I bet the Queen used to say it. I bet the King says it. I think everybody uses it. I've seen children use it. Nothing wrong with it. You know what? You want to end an argument? Fuck off. The best way. And you got a dark night spirit around you? Fuck off. You got a bad mind? Fuck off. You got problems with your emotions? Fuck off. You got problems with your relationship? Fuck off. That was my life. I thought it was quite heartless at first, but now when I look at the human being, I just say, fuck off. I'm not interested. No, I don't want it. Fuck off. Ellie Wynn, see the fear, but do not install the fear. Yes. What you put your energy into installs into you. There's the fuck off. Once you feel something being installed into you, get it out. Right, here's something else. For any of you that have been hurt from the past, for anything that's been installed into you that you don't like about yourself, that's been installed from the past, go into your meditation, go into your darkness, go into your space. Ask your body where it came from. Who made you feel like this? Let's say it's your mum. Let's say your mum was a complete and utter maniac, right? So she's installed a lot of stuff into you, right? You then have become that person. You have then become your mother because she installed the education into you. How do you get rid of it? Go into your meditation. Feel the pain. Let your body remind you of where it came from. Find out where it came from. Could be a friend, could be a relationship, could be a parent, could be a grandparent, wherever it came from. Take it out from your body and send it back to wherever it came from. And say this. Thank you for the teachings, but they are not mine. And you send it back, not with anger, but as a teaching and a lesson learned. So everything that's been installed into you, it's like for me, everything that was installed to me by parents and shit and experience of that, thank you for the teachings, but they are not mine. And I just let them leave the body energetically, and I just put them right back from where they came from, not with anger, not with frustration. I sent them back with love. Do you know how beautiful that is? You've got to try it. That's why my meditation is, I didn't go with the meditation thing, but I developed my own. And mine makes sense. And when you truly listen to the body and you find out where your pains come, you just send them back. I had a lot of hatred for a lot of people, I really did. And you really wouldn't want me hating you because it wouldn't be nice, right? Because I grew up with hate. Right? I went to bed every night with hate. I hated. So I grew up with basically a killer instinct, which meant you upset me, you better step back a bit because the wrath is going to come out like a fucking tornado, right? I hated that. So therefore, we put a lot of blame on a lot of things. But when I realised that that was my pathway, and that was meant to happen, because if it didn't happen, I would have never discovered healing, and I would have never have discovered beamism. And so because of that, I thank them with all my heart for giving me such a bad time and such bad teachings, because I came from no love, and I went through a lot of my life not understanding what love was. But was that going to stop me from loving? Or did it teach me how to love? Think about that for the moment. Come from no love. You have a choice to have no love, or did they teach you what no love felt like so that you could love? Think about that. Beautiful. Okay, right, people. This has been a great, great evening. I didn't expect this tonight on a Friday. Persian Princess, thank you so much, Trevor. It reminds me of the Shawshank Redemption, and it makes a lot of sense. I really appreciate it. Yes, make sense. You are a divine gift to all of us. We are all a divine gift to all of us. Divine is to find your gift of creativity, meaning, passion, love, inspiration. That's divinity. Divinity is in us. It's a word that's been stolen. And ID, the word ID, which we know is identity, don't we? It's a short version of identity. ID for me means inner divinity, inner drive, inner direction. That's my ID. That's my identity, be me. So ID, be me, is inner divinity, body, mind, energy. When you discover your inner divinity, you discover your inner drive and your inner direction. That's I to be me. My identity is to be me. You're killing me, Trev. I was in stitches. Yeah. Okay, mate. Lovely. It's nice to hear that someone's in stitches. I love that. Whatever part of that made you in the stitches of it all. I'm so glad this monitor's working. I'm over the moon. Thank you, people, for a couple of people donations, and it's like it just make everything work. And as more stuff to come, I'll get all this working right. I'm just working with old equipment and I'm doing my best. That's why we're having problems with it. Right. Double E, energy and conscious needs a suit to solidify. It does. And that's matter. And that's what matters. So you matter. What is a matter? What is a matter? A man that makes mats. Right. Mary Jane, thanks so much, Trevor. I needed this today, and there you are, and then you've got it, and there you've got it. Sorry I've sworn a little bit too much tonight, but you know what? I come from the East End of London. We all swear. Everyone swears, including the policeman. Everybody swears. Chloe, thank you. Laura 11, what's that? Red Heart, Pink Rose or something. Thank you, Trevor. Persian Princess, thank you so much, Trevor, and everyone in the comment. Experimental, Fab Chat, Emotional Intelligence. Thank you all for being here. Right, I think I've managed to get right through that. I'm going to go give my voice a lovely little rest, and I am so glad that I can't believe it, that everything has worked, and I'm over the moon, and I'm overjoyed. And a big shout goes out to Byron and Roger for making some of this stuff work, and it's going to, honestly, it's going to get better. More stuff is on its way. Everything I get just plows into making this channel better and to make people better, and I love it. And that's what my soul is here to do. It wants to do that. It's put me through its paces to be able to do that, to be able to speak the truth of it all. So, another 2 hours. I didn't think that would be possible, but isn't it nice to know that you've been on board for 2 hours? That's a movie, isn't it? So I hope I've kept you engaged. I hope you've learned something or taken something away from what I'm speaking about. Hopefully it doesn't get too repetitive, but it's a practice. It's about learning about oneself. It's about understanding oneself, and it's about freeing yourself from your emotions and to become the be me, which means love self, love life. If you can do that, you will then find the art of what a relationship truly means. And on that note, Double E, Experimental, thank you. I didn't expect you to turn up tonight, but thank you very, very much for looking after me on the back burner. So, Ellie Wynn, sense of belonging, a deep, vital. Yes, let's try and all belong. This is the Be Me channel. for Be Me beings who want to understand themselves and to grow and to evolve. Be my evolution, being me. I'm going to sign off now, people. Thanks for turning up. Lots of love from this Be Me to your Be Me. See you very soon.